Good morning to all of you. I am going to continue the same polity session that I am covering since last 2 days. Okay, I am talking about Indian Union and its territory. Yesterday I have told you about during 1956 page. Okay, fine. Before the reorganization of a state act 1956, at that time, before reorganization, at that time total 14 states and 6 union territories was present in India. Okay, I am just revising the whole things about the states and union territories. Okay, so what are those 14 union territories? Fine, a number you can call it as either number 1 to any kinds of. Okay, it is not a serial wise, so even that is from Andhra Pradesh 1, okay, Assam 2, Bihar, Bombay 4, okay, it's 4. Then you can call it as Jammu Kashmir 5, Kerala 6. So these are 6. Fine. And the remaining 8, what are those remaining 8? That is about Madhya Pradesh and Madras. Okay, so these are the 8 states. So after Madhya Pradesh and Madras, which will become any left will can come. There is no serial wise. Okay, so it may Punjab, Rajasthan, Odisha, Mysore, okay, West Bengal or Uttar Pradesh. Fine. So these are actually 14 states. Apart from these 14 states, there are 6 union territories. Fine. At the time of 1956, those are Andaman and Nicobar, okay, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh was a union territory in 1956. After that is what Lakshadweep. The name is something different. That is Lakshadweep and Amindevi and Minicoy Island. The whole thing is called as Lakshadweep right now. 4 have been covered. Okay, so 5th, that is Manipur, and the 6th one, that is Tripura. So I hope these are the 20 palaces. It is clear to all of you. Fine. So I will just move to the next slide and I will continue the same thing. Today the class will be somehow approx 40 minutes. Okay, I will try to cover today, but it is not actually possible. Okay, because if I will try to cover the whole things about this topic, then it will cover around somehow almost 2-hour lecture. Then it is so bulky. Fine, that is why I am covering just 45 minutes approx class, and tomorrow class will be approx 45 minutes and the whole lectures about Indian Union and its territory will be over. Okay, so keep faith in you. Okay, you can do anything, just keep faith in you. Okay, be confidence in yourself. It is the ultimate thing in anything, not even in for civil services exam, in anything. Even if you have the confidence in yourself, then you can do anything. Okay, this is the ultimate thing. Even if you have done this thing, okay, you cannot do any kinds of other remaining things. You will do hard work, you can do anything, but if you don't have the confidence in any of the field, not even in only in teaching section or reading section, in any of the field, fine. So be confident in yourself, fine, and just broadcast yourself in a larger stage. So let's see and start today's session. Okay, so I am moving to the next slide. See, now our today topic is the same one, Indian Union and its territory, but today I will move from 1956. So new states and union territory created after 1956. Fine. Till 1956 there are 14 states. I have told you the name of 14 states and 6 union territories. I have also told this 6 name. So should I move to the next slide and we will see the new formatted states after 1956, after the Reorganization Act 1956. So let's move to the next slide. Now let's see. It is about Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, Maharashtra and Gujarat, how they formed. So let's see. I will read word by word so that you can get it easily. Even it is not visible to all of you, then even I will read in a gradual way so that you can even audible to me. Fine. So I hope I am audible to all of you. So let's start. It is about Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, so let's see. In 1960, 4 years after Reorganization Act, that is a States Reorganization Act, 4 years after that act, in 1960, the bilingual state of Bombay, okay, at that time Bombay was a province, okay, and that was a larger cover area, Bombay, and that area has covered mainly 2 types of people. Bilingual people means like all the people living in Bombay mostly preferred to talk or speak in two languages. One Marathi and other is Gujarati. Okay, so these are two languages which is spoken by the local people. Okay, existed in Bombay Presidency. So Bombay is a state till 1956, or even before the formation of Maharashtra and Gujarat, means till 1960 Bombay was a state. Okay, and Gujarat and Maharashtra both are inside Bombay. Till that time there is nothing name about like Maharashtra and Gujarat. No, it is only Bombay. So in 1960 the bilingual state, bilingual, I hope you are getting it, two languages, a state of Bombay was divided into two separate states. Fine. It means the bilingual state, that is Bombay, has been divided into, means bifurcated in two states. Okay, which time? In 1960. That is Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, so Gujarat was established as the 15th state of the Indian Union. Are you getting it, the whole things? I have told you the name of 14 states till 1956, but in 1960 India got its 15th state. Okay, full-fledged state, that is Gujarat. So Gujarat is the 15th state of Indian Union. Okay, it is the 15th state. So how Gujarat has formed, or even Maharashtra has formed? Gujarat and Maharashtra existed itself both in Bombay Presidency. Okay, and there are two speaking people, two languages, that is Gujarati and Marathi. Fine. So I have told you about the commissions. Okay, Fazal Ali Commission, which is actually supported the, which one? Language based formation of a state, but not like that one language one state. But that is not happened here. Here is one language one state. That is for Gujarati, Gujarat; for Marathi speaking people, that is Maharashtra. Okay, fine. So see, Bombay was divided in 1960 in two states. One is Bombay and other is Gujarat. Okay, and Gujarat is the 15th state of Indian Union. It is not the Maharashtra. Maharashtra is not the 15th state. It is the Gujarat who is the 15th state of the Indian Union. There is confusion in it. Okay, many of the books even do mistakes, but it is ultimately the Gujarat. Okay, I have taken it from many of the sources and collected it. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see. I will tell you about Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Okay, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. But before covering it, just see, for Gujarati speaking people, Gujarat has been formed, but for Marathi speaking people, Maharashtra has been formed, and that Bombay is now called as Mumbai as the capital of which one? Maharashtra till now. Okay, Bombay at that time is Mumbai right now, but not as the same area. Okay, area is too much. It has been cut down from that area. So I hope the whole things is now clear to all of you, how the formation of Maharashtra and Gujarat have taken place. So now let's see. I hope two states have cleared. So now I am come to Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Okay, see, in Dadra and Nagar Haveli, actually it was the Portuguese who is ruling at that time in Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Even the Portuguese ruled it until 1954. So it may look wonderful that India got independence in 1947, but till 1954, okay, till 1954, almost 7 years after independence, Dadra and Nagar Haveli was under the concurrence of which one? It is Portuguese force under the proclamation of Portugal. So the Portuguese ruled in Dadra and Nagar Haveli until 1954. Okay, but in 1961 it was admitted by an administrator. What happened? Till 1961 actually Portuguese people have moved out from that location. Okay, and Portuguese have means left those areas till the phrase of almost 1960-1961. So what happened is India is the that part who is acquiring Dadra and Nagar Haveli in 1961? No. After the lifting of Portuguese forces from Dadra and Nagar Haveli in 1960 or somehow 1961, then who ruled in Dadra and Nagar Haveli? That is a question. So the answer of that question is, in 1961, Dadra and Nagar Haveli was admitted by an administrator. Okay, admitted by an administrator or run by an administrator, and that is administrator was chosen by, not by the Indian government, but chosen by the people of the local themselves. Okay, the local people themselves elected and chosen their own administrator, and that administrator started ruling in Dadra and Nagar Haveli from 1961. Okay, so it is not the Indian government of India, central government of India, who actually run all the affairs of Dadra and Nagar Haveli after the lecture of Portuguese forces. No, it is not correct. Okay, so I hope the overview about Dadra and Nagar Haveli, the historical aspects about the Dadra and Nagar Haveli is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide, and we will see something more about this one. Now let's see. See, Dadra and Nagar Haveli was converted into a union territory. Fine. See, administrator actually running the Dadra and Nagar Haveli from 1961, but actually what happened that administrator was not capable to run that area, that is Dadra and Nagar Haveli, okay, with proper functionality, and even the local people wanted to join to India. Okay, they want that Indian government should run this place also. So Dadra and Nagar Haveli was converted into a union territory, not a state. Okay, not a state, converted into a union territory. Right now, also till now, Dadra and Nagar Haveli is also till now a union territory. Okay, fine, of Indian Union. So it was converted into a union territory of India by the 10th Constitutional Amendment Act in 1961. Fine, in 1961. So see, if you are adding any of the region as an UT or even as a state, then you have to make amendment in the constitution. So that amendment has been made, and that amendment number is 10th Constitutional Amendment Act in 1961. So a question may come in this way, that 10th Constitutional Amendment Act is related with acquiring of Goa. Then it is correct or incorrect? It is incorrect. So you have to remember these facts. Okay, ultimately in polity section you have to remember almost 20% or 30% facts, and the remaining thing is conceptual. So it is the 10th Constitutional Amendment Act, 10th CAA, Constitutional Amendment Act 1961. It has given the Dadra and Nagar Haveli as a status of union territory by the Indian government. Is it clear? I hope it is clear to all of you. It is not so difficult. So I am moving to the next slide. First of all, I have to erase it. Okay. Now we will talk about Goa, Daman and Diu. If you are confusing that, why I am taking all those three in a same line? Okay, Daman and Diu is definitely in a single union territory. Okay, but right now what happened at that time? Actually, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, at present time I am talking about, Dadra and Nagar Haveli was a separate union territory few years earlier. Daman and Diu was a separate union territory just few years earlier, just few years. Okay, but at the present time, I am talking about 2021, at present time Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu has combined, okay, has been merged in a single union territory, and that union territory is being called, I have teach you, that is called Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu Union Territory. What is Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu Union Territory, single one. But since we are talking about 1961, okay, but that's why it is making so differential. So now let's talk about Goa, Daman and Diu. Goa and Daman Diu. Okay, Goa and Daman and Diu. Daman and Diu means the same one, not the separate one. So let's see. India acquired these three territories. Fine. Earlier this was separate, but right now it is a combined one. Daman and Diu are not separate. It is a combined one, called that. Okay. So India acquired these three territories, that is Goa, Daman and Diu from the Portuguese. Let's see, we call it that English ruler have ruled, or East India Company, or even a British proclamation is actually running at that time. But see how Portuguese was running in our nation. Goa, Daman, Diu, and even Dadra Nagar Haveli, and even a few areas too. So India acquired these three regions from Portuguese, okay, by means of a police action, not by in a simple way or not in a peaceful way. By using the police forces, India acquiring these three regions from Portuguese forces. I hope you are getting it. In 1961, this is the matter of 1961. They were constituted, they were means all these three, that is Goa, Daman and Diu. All these three were constituted as a union territory. All these three, after acquiring these all three areas from Portuguese forces, okay, these all three were given the status of union territories, not states. Remember these facts. Goa has even given the status of union territories by the 12th Constitutional Amendment Act 1962. So question comes actually in this way, okay, a 12th CAA will be given and it will be related with Dadra and Nagar Haveli. So it is incorrect, because 12th Constitutional Amendment Act is related with Goa, Daman and Diu. Fine. At present time, Goa is a full-fledged state. Goa is not a union territory. But after acquiring Goa, Daman and Diu, all these three from Portuguese forces, all have been given the status of union territories, not the state. Okay. And I have already told you that if you want to acquire any area under your control, then you have to bring Constitutional Amendment Act. So for Dadra Nagar Haveli, there is the 10th Constitutional Amendment Act, but for Goa, Daman and Diu, it is the 12th Constitutional Amendment Act that has been passed in the Parliament of India in 1962. So I hope it is clear. It is not so difficult, okay, as you are thinking. I have already told you, if you have the confidence, self-confidence, then it will be so easy, okay, so easy. So now let's move to the next slide and we will see some other things. Let's see, focus here. Okay, I am just talking about Goa and Daman and Diu. Now let's see. Okay, from 1962, now let's move to 1987. Why directly I am moving almost 25 years? Because of some type of relation between those states. So let's see. Later in 1987, Goa conferred a statehood, means till 1987, see, from 1962 to early 1987, Goa was a union territory, not as a state. But in 1987, Government of India, or we can say that Parliament of India, it is better to say Parliament of India. So Parliament of India has given Goa as a status of full statehood. Okay, so Goa is converting from a union territory to a statehood. So it is a promoting thing for Goa. Okay, in the same way, consequently, Daman and Diu was made a separate union territory. Now Daman and Diu are not a separate union territory. Means, don't confuse it. See, Goa 1, Daman 2 and Diu 3. All these three are making as union territories in 1962. Okay, Goa 1, Daman 2, Diu 3. These are 3. Okay, 3 separately. But in 1987, Goa has been given the status of a statehood, fully a state, as like at present time. And at the same time, in 1987 itself, at the same time, Daman number 2 and Diu number 3, that was I was talking just few seconds earlier. Daman and Diu was merged and made as separate union territory in a combined one, that is called as Daman and Diu. Okay, Daman and Diu union territory, not a statehood. So Goa got a statehood, but Daman and Diu was merged, both was merged, Daman and Diu, but not get the statehood, a status, but it was remaining a union territory as it was running earlier from 1962. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Okay. See, Puducherry, earlier it was also called Pondicherry. Okay, Pondicherry, Puducherry. So see about Puducherry. Puducherry is right now a union territory. Till now, Puducherry is a union territory. Okay. See, the territory of Puducherry comprises the former French establishment in India. See, actually the French forces occupied the place of Puducherry. However, Tipu Sultan, okay, in Mysore regions. If you are not yet, don't mind it all. I will cover all these in history lectures. Okay. So Puducherry are under the control of French armies. Okay, fine. So the territory of Puducherry comprises the former French establishment in India known as Puducherry, Karnal, okay, sorry, Karaikal and Mahe and Yanam. 4 regions. Okay, these 4 regions are actually acquired by French armies. Fine, French armies are actually controlling in those areas. Fine. What are those 4 areas? Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe and Yanam. These are 4 areas. So all these 4 areas are merged and called as UT of Puducherry. Okay. So I hope it is clear. It is not so difficult. A question may come in different way, that like in Dadra Nagar Haveli and Goa and Daman and Diu, it was which forces? Portuguese forces. But here it was French forces. So it will be given that in Goa, Daman, Diu, it was the French armies who are actually controlling Goa, Daman and Diu before 1961. So it is a wrong statement. Fine, it is a wrong statement. So I am moving to the next slide. Fine. Now let's see. The French armies handed over Puducherry to India. Handover, not India has not taken these areas from French armies by any police action. It is just the French armies who has given these areas to Indian Union, because French armies know that India is an independent country now. We are not capable to handle these areas. Okay, Indian government will definitely throw us from those locations. So it is better to submit these regions, okay, without getting insulting. Okay, so the French armies handed over Puducherry to India in 1954 itself. Okay, 1954. Subsequently, it was administered and acquired territory till 1962. Okay, the same one as like Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Portuguese forces has gone. Okay, in 1960, but for 1 year it was an administrator chosen by local people who was ruling for 1 year. After that, India acquired by a police action. But here the same thing, but the term is really much bigger than Dadra and Nagar Haveli. So till 1962 running by administrator, but in 1962 Puducherry was made as an union territory, UT. Okay, union territory by the 14th Constitutional Amendment Act. So you have to remember this Constitutional Amendment Act. 10th Constitutional Amendment Act related with Dadra Nagar Haveli. 12th Constitutional Amendment Act related with Goa, Daman and Diu. See, now give me an answer. Okay, I am asking you. It is the 12th Constitutional Amendment Act who have given Goa a full statehood, a status of a state. It is correct or incorrect? I am repeating the question again. It is the 12th Constitutional Amendment Act, okay, which has given Goa a status of full statehood. Is it correct or incorrect? Is it incorrect? Because 12th Constitutional Amendment Act have made Goa, Daman and Diu as union territories. Okay, union territories. Fine. Are you getting it? It is not about a statehood. So you have to read about and analyze in this way. And 14th Constitutional Amendment Act deals with Puducherry. Okay, 14th Constitutional Amendment Act or passed by Parliament, okay, enacted Puducherry as a union territory of India. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So can I move to the next slide? So I am moving to next one. Now let's say about Nagaland. Okay, a northeastern country, northeastern state, sorry. So Nagaland. See, actually in Nagaland there was a Nagas people who was living there. Okay, Nagas people. Fine, till now Nagas people living there. There are so many called like inner line permit area. Okay, fine, scheduled areas, at so many things under 6th schedule or 7 schedules. So these are things which you will get all these, like what is inner line permit area, fine, you will get all those things in upcoming lectures of polity itself. So now see about Nagaland. See, in 1963 the state of Nagaland was formed by taking the Naga Hills and the Usang area. Usang area, T is silent here, okay, Usang area. So see, before 1963 there was no Nagaland place in India, okay, there was a place called Naga Hills and just beside them there was a place called Usang area, okay, Usang area. So Indian Parliament have merged both these, that is Usang area and Naga Hills, and made Nagaland, okay, a state, okay. See, earlier it was a part of Assam. See, Usang area and Naga Hills was a part of Assam, because see, during the time before the independence, as like Bengal province, there was a Assam, okay, a very much larger province, okay, fine. Assam is a province type, a very much larger. Nagaland, Meghalaya, fine, Assam itself. There are so many different categories, okay, there are so many, all in, you know, all the northeastern states are almost covered under Assam itself, okay. So in 1963 Nagaland has been made by merging the Naga Hills and Usang areas. Earlier this both the locations, Naga Hills and Usang areas, has been present in Assam, but both these areas have been cut down from Assam and make a separate, okay, separate area, that is called Nagaland, okay. This was done to satisfy the movement of the hostile Nagas. Hostile means, hostile means you can say that it somehow means anger towards, okay, anger, inhospitality, not in go out go, inhospitality, fine. So there anger Nagas people are actually wanted to make a separate area, that is called Nagaland. So to satisfy those peoples, the Parliament of India has formed a separate area, that is called Nagaland, by mixing two areas, Usang areas and Naga Hills, and both those areas are previously comes under the state of Assam. So I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let us see. However, before giving Nagaland the status of the 16th state, which is 15th state, it is Gujarat. Now I am talking about the 16th state. So Nagaland is the 16th state of India, but before Nagaland has acquired the status of a state as the 16th state, before that Indian Union, okay, 16th state, it was placed under the control of Governor of Assam in 1961, okay, means till 1961 it was controlled, fine, it was controlled by the Governor of Assam itself, but after 1961 Governor of Assam has no power over Nagaland, and Nagaland have got the status of full statehood, okay, as the 16th state of the Indian Union Territory. So 14 states I have already told you, 15th is Gujarat and 16th is Nagaland, okay, you have to remember this fact. So moving to the next slide. Now we will see about almost the northern areas somehow, that is Haryana, Chandigarh and Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh in 1956 was a union territory, fine, have you got it? I have told you. Now we will deal about Haryana, Chandigarh and Himachal Pradesh. So let's see, in 1966 the state of Punjab, okay, Punjab was a state in 1956, okay, Punjab was a bigger state, okay, Punjab was really a bigger state. Even after partition from with Pakistan, okay, partition within India and partition within India have taken place and Pakistan has been formed, even after that Punjab was itself a bigger area, okay. So in 1966 the state of Punjab was bifurcated, means divided, bifurcated means divided, division has taken place to create Haryana, okay, to creating Haryana as the 17th state of Indian Union, 15th Gujarat, 16th Nagaland, and Parliament, Government of India wants to create Haryana as the 17th state. So government of India has passed, okay, an act in parliament and divided Punjab and taken some areas and made that areas at Haryana, and that Haryana is the 17th state, not talking about Union Territory, 17th state of Indian Union, okay, and the Union Territory of Chandigarh too. So some areas has been taken, made a Chandigarh as Union Territory. Right now, till now, Chandigarh is Union Territory, okay, and Haryana has given the 17th status of a statehood. So till now, what is present situation? Punjab is a separate state, Haryana is a separate state, and both the capital is in Chandigarh. Till now, Chandigarh is a Union Territory. So I hope it is clear. Okay, about Himachal Pradesh I will also tell you. So I am moving to the next slide. So let's see. This followed, means these steps followed, which has made Haryana as a state and Chandigarh as a Union Territory. These steps followed the demand for a separate Sikh homeland. Okay, now 6 people demanding that we want a separate homeland. Okay, we do not want to live together, okay, with combining all the people. We want a separate Sikh land, Sikh homeland, okay, and that is called Punjabi Suba, Suba, okay. So by the Akali Dal, demand has been driven by Akali Dal, okay. Have you heard about Akali Dal? Right now it is separated it from NDA, okay, BJP, by the agitation over farmers' laws. So Akali Dal leader, that is Master Tara Singh, has raised this issue that there should be a separate homeland for 6 people, there should be a separate state. So I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see. On the recommendation of the Shah Commission, not about our Home Minister, okay, there is different Shah. So on the recommendation of the Shah Commission, in 1966, the Punjabi speaking areas were constituted into the unilingual state, that is called Punjab. See the whole things. See earlier, see here, earlier it was a Punjab, just assume Punjab, and Punjab was a state in 1956. I have told you about Punjab, Rajasthan, these all are under 14 states. So Punjab was actually a bigger area. So what happened that in somehow in 1963, approx that time, okay, few areas had been taken, okay, and made as Haryana. Few areas has been taken and made it as Chandigarh. So Chandigarh as Union Territory and Haryana as full statehood, as 17th state, okay, 17th, state number 17. Then the remaining Punjab is itself, okay, are you getting it? Now you will see that the remaining Punjab is this one, only this one, but yet this is itself a bigger one. So what happened that at that time Akali Dal leader Master Tara Singh has raised the issue that for 6 people there should be a separate Sikh homeland, okay, that should be named as Punjabi Suba, okay, that separate state should be made from this area wherever 6 people are present, okay. So on the recommendation for that issue, raising issue, Indian government have set up the commission, that is Shah Commission, and Shah Commission, on the recommendation suggestion given by Shah Commission in 1966, the Punjabi speaking areas, okay, you may just assume that these are Punjabi speaking area, okay, these are Punjabi speaking area, okay, Punjabi speaking area, okay, the green one you can see Punjabi speaking area, fine. So a Punjabi speaking area has been constituted for unilingual state, for a single language state, that language is Punjabi, and that state is called till now, that is Punjab. So earlier Punjab was a bigger one, Chandigarh has taken out from Punjab, Haryana has been cut out from Punjab, even in Himachal Pradesh too. You will teach all this, okay. So now I hope it is clear. So I am moving to the next slide. See, the Hindi speaking areas were constituted into the state of Haryana, fine, and the hilly areas were merged with the adjoining union territory Himachal Pradesh. See, have you remembered it? In 1956, Himachal Pradesh was a union territory. Himachal Pradesh was a union territory. So you can say that here it is Himachal Pradesh. Okay, Himachal Pradesh. Here it is. Just assume Himachal Pradesh. Are you getting it? Himachal Pradesh. It is Himachal Pradesh. The red one. Himachal Pradesh. Just assume that Himachal Pradesh. So see, for Punjabi speaking people, Punjab has been made. Haryana has already been made. Chandigarh has already been created. Okay. Then the Hindi speaking people has been gone to Haryana. Okay. And the hilly areas people and the hilly areas has been transferred to from Punjab. Punjab is also earlier at a hilly areas. So those before a separate Punjab state for especially for 6 people. So these hilly areas are gone to this union territory at that time. Himachal Pradesh is union territory. So this hilly areas has gone to Himachal Pradesh. Fine. Are you getting it? Till now Himachal Pradesh is a union territory, not even get a statehood, even after adjoining the hilly areas. So I hope the whole things you are getting it. So I am moving to the next slide, and I hope you have got all the things. Now in 1971, the union territory of Himachal Pradesh, okay, that is, let's see, union territory of Himachal Pradesh, here liquid, union territory of Himachal Pradesh, see from here to here, was elevated to the state of a statehood as 18th state of the Indian Union. 15th Gujarat, are you getting it? 16th Nagaland, fine. 17th Haryana, 18th Himachal Pradesh. Okay, 18th is Himachal Pradesh. Why not Punjab? Because Punjab has already a state earlier, just its area has been altered, area has been reduced. So 18th state is called Himachal Pradesh. So Himachal Pradesh till 1971, approx somehow till early 1971, Himachal Pradesh was a union territory, and after adjoining these hilly areas from Punjab, okay, to Himachal Pradesh in 1971 got the status of a statehood, full statehood as like present time. So I hope it is clear. So I am erasing the whole things. I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay. So I am moving to the next slide. Now we will say about Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya. These are also the northeastern states at present time. So Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya. Manipur and Tripura was a union territory in 1956. Have you remembered it? Those out from those 6 union territories. So Manipur and Tripura was a union territories. So we will learn about 3 areas, that is Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya. Okay. So let's see. In 1972, I have covered just Himachal Pradesh in 1971. Now move to 1972. In 1972, the political map of Northeast India underwent a major change. It means wow, or it means what I mean to say actually. That is, if there is a map, see the real map of India will be the same one. But if you will alter the boundaries of the state, then the inner political map, okay, the political map of India will definitely be changed. So there was a huge changing in northeastern areas. Earlier Nagaland has been formed, cut down from Assam. Okay. So during the phase of 1972, there was a huge changing in the altering of boundaries in northeastern states. That's why if altering the boundary, then definitely political map will be changed inside the whole Indian map. The Indian map will be similar. Okay, the boundary will be similar. Fine. Just assume if this is boundary of any nation, then if this is a state number 1 and this is a state number 2 and this is a state number 3, just assuming. Okay. So see, this area will be same. If you are taking away some of the areas of 1 to 2, then inner political map will be changed. Inner political map will be changed, but the map of the nation will be the same. The same thing here. Okay. So I am moving to the next slide. That will also tell about Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya. Now let's see the 2 union territories, that is Manipur and Tripura. Okay. And the sub-state of Meghalaya. Meghalaya was actually see under the control of Assam, and it is called as sub-state of Assam. Fine, as like Nagaland was created, till now Meghalaya has not been created at that time. So Meghalaya is called as Assam, sub-state of Assam. So the two union territories Manipur and Tripura, and the sub-state, that is Meghalaya, sub-state of Assam, got a statehood. Okay, and the two union territories, see, earlier in 1956, Manipur and Tripura both are, which one, or both were union territories? Fine, till 1972 it was union territories, but in 1972 both have given, Manipur and Tripura has been given as the status of a statehood, full state. Till now both are the status of a statehood. In the same way, Meghalaya, that was also a state under the control of Assam, have also got the status of a statehood. Meghalaya in 1972 itself. Apart from all these three changes, if these kinds of change will take place in the same location, then how much the altering of boundaries will take place? So definitely political map will be changed, but it will not affect the political boundary even of the India. Okay, the boundary line of India, it will not affect definitely. Apart from all these things, the other two union territories, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, okay, originally known as Northeastern Frontier. See, in 1956, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram was not even union territory. It was originally known as Northeastern Frontier Agency. Have you heard of NEFA? Northeastern Frontier Agency. I will teach you about this. Okay, this is really an interesting topic, NEFA. Okay, came into being. So NEFA, in NEFA region, these two areas are actually present, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. So the two union territories of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. Fine. Have you got it? Are you really clear? And the more clearance will take in place about these things in upcoming slide. So moving to the next slide. See, with this the number of states of the union increased to 21. Is it or not? 18, I have talked to you about that one. Which one? Himachal Pradesh. 19, 20, 21, 19 Manipur, 20 Tripura, 19 Manipur, 20 with this the number of a state of the union territory is actually Indian Union is actually increased to 21 states. I am talking about states. Manipur 19, Tripura is 20, not 23rd. That's why I am confusing here. Manipur 20, 18 was Himachal Pradesh, 19 was Manipur, 20 was Tripura, and 21 was Meghalaya. So till now, from earlier there was 14 states, now 15 Gujarat. Have you get it? 16 Nagaland, 17 Haryana, 18 Himachal Pradesh, 19 Manipur, 20 Tripura, and 21 Meghalaya. Read in this way. Okay, even in 2 to 3 times you will remember the whole things like I have remembered. Okay, by teaching from since too much time. Fine. So I am moving to the next slide. See, initially the 22nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1969 created the Meghalaya as an autonomous state or sub-state. I have called you sub-state within the state of Assam. I have called it with its own legislature and council of ministers. See, actually it was a part of Assam, subset of Assam, or you can call that it was an autonomous state, but not fully autonomous. Meghalaya was even in 1969, not 1972. From 1969 to 1972, okay, Meghalaya was a sub-state or autonomous state of Assam, autonomous state, but by Assam, within Assam. But Meghalaya has its own legislature and council of ministers, but not chief minister, controlled by the governor of Assam till 1972. So I hope it is clear. So if any other slides remaining, otherwise I will finish my lecture itself. Yes, few things remaining. However, this did not satisfy the aspirations of the people of Meghalaya, because people of Meghalaya really wants a separate state, not like this one that we are going to control by the Assam. So the union territories of Mizoram and Himachal Pradesh was also formed out of the territories of Assam. That is, Mizoram not here Himachal Pradesh, here is Arunachal Pradesh, not Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh. So however, this did not satisfy the aspirations of the people of Meghalaya. Really, if you will a state inside a state, how will satisfy, how the people will satisfy? So the union territories of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, that earlier is called as NEPHAR, Northeastern Frontier, okay, Frontier Agency. So was also area was also formed out of the territories of Assam. So earlier Assam was itself a bigger one. NEPHA was present inside Assam. See, Nagaland have been carved out from Assam, Meghalaya has been carved out of Assam, even Arunachal Pradesh, okay, Mizoram, all these are present earlier in Assam. So all these are carved out from Assam. So I hope it is clear. So it is okay. So I am moving to the next slide. If any other remaining, no, it's over. See, after carving out Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh from Assam, earlier there was no name like Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh or this one Mizoram. These are termed as under NEPHA, and NEPHA is inside Assam. But due to agitation inside the Assam, okay, and because of also NEPHA, Northeastern Frontier Area, because of that, two different names, two different areas have got two different names and given the status of union territories, that is Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. So I hope it is clear. So I am just repeating here. See, within 2 minutes. See, till now how many states we have got it? 21 states we have talked about. I am from 1 to 21. I am just repeating it. Okay. See, till 1956 it was 14. Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Bombay. These are 4. Okay, fine. Jammu Kashmir, Kerala, that is 6. Okay, Madhya Pradesh, Madras, that is 8. Okay, Odisha, Mysore, that is 10. Punjab, Rajasthan, that is 12. West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh, UP, that is 14. So these are 14 states. Number 15th number state is Gujarat, 16th Nagaland, 17th Haryana, 18th Himachal Pradesh, okay, 19th Manipur, 20th Tripura, and 21st is which one? Meghalaya. So these are the serial wise, you have to remember it. How I have remembered from 1 to 21, you should in this way. 1 to 14 you can remember in any serial wise, but 15 to 21 till now, till 29 I will cover. Right now it is 28, but before the removing of article 370 it was 29. Okay, so you have to memorize about those 29. So I hope from 15 to 21 all you have memorized it. If not, then just read it on your copy or take the screenshots and memorize these things. It is regularly asking in questions of civil services. So we will meet tomorrow again in tomorrow morning. So thank you so much.